After a sudden death, he lived another life in the face of a full-time mage full of danger and disasters, and activated the universal simulator on the day of magical awakening. Simulate the god of achievement elements for the first time. Element control, melting the power of elements to merge magic and achieve the position of the Dharma God. Control space, master the path of space, and use the laws of space to explore the world. Accompanying divine weapons, creating the void chain, using a tool of confinement to seal off countless demons in the world. Let's see what kind of change Xinxia, who has added cheats, can bring to this world. How much can he change from the many regrets that appear in the original work? Carry your beautiful confidant, step on thousands of miles of mountains and rivers, and climb to the top of the world. Keywords of the novel. Full-time mage. I have an emulator without pop-ups. Full-time mage. I have an emulator. Download the complete set of TXT. Full-time mage. I have an emulator. Read the latest chapters. Chapter 1. Magic Awakening. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 1 Magic Awakening. September 1st is the day when Tianlan Magic High School starts, and it is also the most important day for students to enter the field of magic. In the classroom, students were discussing and excited, full of anticipation for the upcoming magical awakening ceremony. Xinxia, sitting by the window, looked out at the blue sky and his thoughts drifted towards the distance without realizing it. Xinxia was a member of the army of travelers. In his previous life, he stayed up late to pursue a full-time mage, only to see a bad ending. In a fit of anger, he suffered a heart attack and died. When he woke up again, he was born into the magical world he had always longed for. Fan Gu, I'm so excited. I don't know what kind of faction I can awaken. I hope it's not just light or water. By the way, Fan Gu, what kind of faction do you want to awaken? At this moment, Zhang Xiaohou next to him interrupted his drifting thoughts. After regaining his senses, Xinxia pondered for a moment and replied, thunder, fire, and ice are all good. He had already considered it before, and the ideal initial type would be thunder, fire, or ice. As for the chance of awakening, it was comparable to buying lottery dimensional magic, and Xinxia had no idea at all. Moreover, even if he awakens dimensional magic, it is not very friendly to him. Summoning is based on facial expressions and also consumes resources. Space is difficult to express its power when the spiritual realm is not high, and sound and chaos have little attack power in the early stages, leaning towards assistance. White magic is purely auxiliary and beyond consideration. Black magic originates from the power of the Dark King and may pose any potential threat. Of course, these are just thoughts, and the true awakening of what kind is not something he can decide. You are truly Fan Gu, and you. Zhang Xiaohou looked at Mo Fan. Fire. Turning his head, Mo Fan said with a burning gaze. As the principal's long and unpleasant speech came to an end, the opening ceremony officially came to an end, and everyone's turning point in life. The awakening of magic finally arrived. The awakening ceremony is held on the playground, with 20 classes simultaneously. Students need to step forward when their names are called out, place their hands on the awakening stone, and sense the spiritual world, in order to awaken the magic department with the power of the awakening stone. Xinxia. At the forefront of the team, Shui Mushing shouted. As a traveler, Xinxia has an unforgettable memory and an incredibly powerful learning ability compared to his previous life. He has transformed from a scumbag into a god of learning, ranking first in the school's high school entrance examination results, and his student ID is naturally number 1. Stepping out of the queue, Xinxia arrived at the awakening stone, feeling quite uplifted in his heart. Xinxia, you have a good grasp of magic theory. I hope you can awaken a powerful magic department. Shui Mushing encouraged with a smile on his face. Thank you, teacher. Gently nodding, Qin Shaoqing immediately focused his attention entirely on the awakening stone in front of him. The awakening stone appears in the shape of a thick star compass, with a palm print that can be placed in the center depression. Taking a deep breath, Qin Shaoqing eagerly placed his right hand on the suspended awakening stone, praying in his heart to awaken those ideal magic systems. Slowly closing his eyes, he began to feel his spiritual world. At the same time, a dreamlike radiance of stars rose from the suspended awakening stone, merging into a series of star marks like special blood vessels gradually climbing onto Qin Shaoqing's right hand. Ding! Special energy detected, simulator starting. 1%. 10%. 99%. In the mist, Qin Shaoqing seemed to hear the sound of his golden finger activating, but now was not the time to distract. Magic had awakened and he needed to devote all his attention. Full of concentration, Qin Shaoqing only felt a mysterious power transmit from his palm to his whole body, and then he drew a stunning purple arc in his spiritual world, which was as empty and desolate as the universe and stars, blooming with a brilliant and dazzling purple radiance. Purple is the thunder element, the most domineering element in the early stage, and it is not one of them. It was the first time everyone had witnessed the awakening ceremony with their own eyes, and each student stood on tiptoe to look at Qin Shaoqing who was awakening. Suddenly, the awakening stone floated in the air and emitted an incredibly strong purple light, piercing the students who were staring directly at the awakening stone and almost unable to open their eyes. Sleeping trough, it's actually a thunder series. Do we still need to live? The first one awakened the thunder series. I found a treasure, and when I saw the first person in my class, I woke up to lay. Shui Mushing laughed so hard that he couldn't even close his mouth. With the release of the lay series, it was a complete sensation. In an instant, Qin Shaoqing caught everyone's attention, and all the teachers and students in the school cast their gaze in unison. Against the backdrop of the elusive purple lightning arc, it highlights the youth's recklessness and boldness. Qin, you're amazing. Zhang Xiaohou shouted directly. Standing at the front of the queue, Mu Bai saw that Qin Shaoqing was actually awakened by Lei, and his face was a bit surprised and gloomy. From childhood to adulthood, Qin Shaoqing has always been ahead of him. In terms of learning, sports, and even interpersonal communication, referring to his relationship with Mu Ningxue, he has no match for Qin Shaoqing. I thought this magical awakening was an opportunity for him to reverse his superpower, but I didn't expect this opportunity to be blocked from the beginning. However, Mu Bai did not completely lose his confidence. Magic cultivation is not solely based on talent, and cultivation resources are also indispensable. Qin Shaoqing is just a commoner without any social background, and he is a son of the Mu family. Ha ha ha, alright, Qin Shaoqing. You were already good at theoretical studies, but now you have awakened to the lay faction. Your future achievements are simply limitless. Shui Mushing said 3 good words in succession. After praising him, he also earnestly taught, however, you cannot neglect your cultivation just because you have a strong magical talent. If you want to become a strong person, persistent and diligent cultivation is essential. I will work hard to cultivate, Teacher Shui. Under the gaze of various gazes from the crowd, Qin Shaoqing returned to the queue, and then closed his eyes to rest, while secretly studying his golden finger, which had been awakened more than a decade late. After a brief understanding, Qin Shaoqing roughly understood its function. The golden finger is called Wanjie Simulator, which has similar functions to various simulator games and simulator novels in previous lives. It randomly selects 3 talents from the simulator to conduct a brand new life simulation, and then receives rewards based on the final evaluation of the simulation. As for the specific form of the reward, it can only be known after the first simulation is completed. And he currently has 1 simulation count included in activating the simulator, which will take 1, 2, 3 years to automatically increase the number of simulations thereafter. While Qin Shaoqing was studying the simulator, the awakening ceremony also continued. Next. Mu Bai. Very good, it's a very pure ice system. With Qin Shaoqing's pearl in front, Mu Bai's awakening of pure ice did not cause much shock. Zhang Xiaoho. Very good, wind type, talented, should cultivate well, don't be lazy. When Zhang Xiaoho woke up, a strange wind vortex appeared, and Xue Muxing's face showed a satisfied expression. Note. No need to say more. This book has many female leads, please do not enter if you do not like it. Also. Objectively, those who are raising books can help me order a follow-up reading. I am very grateful. End of this chapter. Chapter 2. First Simulation, Part 1. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Chapter 2 First Simulation, Part 1. Not long after, almost the entire class had awakened to the magic department, except for Mo Fan at the end of the team, whose palms trembled slightly and his heart was pounding uncontrollably. I'm afraid no one can imagine the tension in Mo Fan's heart at this moment. On the one hand, it is because he has only been exposed to magic in the past 3 months, on the other hand, it is because he comes from a technological plane, and perhaps he may not be able to awaken the magic department as Zhao Kunsen and others said. Qin Shaoqing, who was closing his eyes and recuperating, also opened his eyes with great interest to witness the scene of Mo Fan awakening the Thunder Fire dual lineage. What happened next was no different from the original plot. When Mo Fan awakened the Thunder series, he was overshadowed by the hype of Su Xiaoting. When everyone withdrew their gaze, they only saw that Mo Fan had awakened the Fire series. To be honest, the plot of the original work feels quite flawed. Qin Shaoqing said that it must be false that he didn't envy Mo Fan when he witnessed Mo Fan's awakening of the dual system. However, he is also a man with golden fingers now. However, if this simulator is awesome, it is easy to surpass Mo Fan. After the awakening ceremony, the homeroom teacher Xue Muxing gave the students the most important first lesson after entering the field of magic. Magic release. Magic release can be divided into 3 steps. Meditation, control, and release. Mingxiu, as the name suggests, is to be fully focused on thinking. Dark cultivation is a means for magicians to improve their cultivation. When practicing the mind and spirit of emptiness, they can absorb mysterious energy wandering between heaven and earth, refine and strengthen the stars, and continuously accumulate magical energy for releasing magic. Control refers to manipulating the stars to merge into specific star paths and ultimately release magic. During lunch break, Mo Fan was preparing to talk to Qin Shaoqing about his awakening of the dual lineage, as when he turned around, only Qin Shaoqing, the team leader, was watching him awaken. But before Mo Fan could say anything, Qin Shaoqing gave him a reassuring look. Don't worry, with our relationship, unless you voluntarily expose yourself, I will definitely not tell anyone else. Upon hearing Qin Shaoqing's words, Mo Fan became furious. At first, I was all focused on the little princess of the Payamo family, but unfortunately, this despicable slut stole my home. What's even more infuriating is that the little princess herself couldn't fight against this guy. It was like losing her wife and losing her army. Unable to bear it for a moment, Mo Fan became increasingly angry as he thought about it. He then stepped forward and forcefully wrapped his arm around Qin Shaoqing's neck, threatening fiercely, rolling calf, stay away from my heart in summer. I don't mind, but is it with Xinxia? Why don't you go talk? Qin Shaoqing didn't resist, but said in a meaningful tone. Mo Fan's face turned even darker, and he was so embarrassed. Why was he so obsessed with his mind that he didn't take Xinxia seriously? As a result, Xinxia is now completely in the shape of Qin Shaoqing, and he never leaves Shaoqing's brother in 3 sentences. Disdainful person. In the end, Mo Fan only held back these 2 words in his mouth. Thank you very much for your praise. After a day of class, Qin Shaoqing returned to the dormitory, climbed onto the bed and lay down, ready to start the first simulation. In the initial talent extraction, it was detected that the host was in the first simulation, and the probability of extracting high-quality talents from the initial talent was significantly increased with the opening of novice permissions, and there must be one gold talent. After the initial talent extraction is completed, you can choose 3 of the following 5 initial talents for this simulation. Elemental Holy Spirit, Gold. In your lifetime, you will become an infinite potential elemental Holy Spirit, possessing elemental affinity and control that will make the god stand tall. Note: this talent can undergo transformation by controlling the power of multiple elements. Natural Divine Power, Purple. You will gain a much greater physical strength and the power of chi and blood than ordinary people. Space Mastery, Purple. You are born as the darling of space. Accompanying Divine Weapon, Gold. When you are born, you will receive a weapon with the potential to grow into a divine artifact. Little Luck, Green. Your luck is much better than that of ordinary people, with a very small chance of achieving your goals. Talent Level. White, green, blue, purple, gold, 9 colors. Do you need to refresh the initial talent for this time? There is no cooldown time for the first talent refresh. Can you still refresh the initial talent? Looking at the pop-up window that popped up, Xinxia raised his eyebrows slightly, but he wouldn't foolishly refresh the initial talent of 2 gold, 2 purple, and 1 green that was only drawn with the help of novice privileges. Without much hesitation, Xinxia chose the initial talents of Elemental Spirit, accompanying Divine Martial Arts, and Space Mastery for this simulation. Talent Selection, Simulation begins. Under the influence of the Elemental Spirit talent, you transformed into a nucleus containing infinite possibilities and descended into an unknown world due to the rich power of thunder elements contained in the region of descent. After decades of incubation, accompanied by a stunning thunderbolt falling from 9 heavens, you are finally born as the Thunder Spirit. From the moment you were born, you possessed powerful strength at the level of a small commander. At the same time, the accompanying Divine Weapon talent was activated, and you obtained an elemental divine bow that could grow with you. Warcraft and other abilities can be directly applied to full-time mages, but I'm actually too lazy to think about it. Obtained the elemental bow, you tested its power a bit and shot a thunderbolt arrow in a certain direction. In an instant, a raging and violent thunderbolt prison was generated hundreds of meters away, and the terrifying aura of destruction dissipated, causing creatures from dozens of miles to flee wildly. You are very satisfied with the power of the elemental bow. Entering a brand new world, although you are full of curiosity, you decide to develop for a period of time because you do not know what level of strength you are in this world. Time flies by, and 2 years of seclusion have passed. Finally, you have devoured the immense power of thunder elements contained in the fragments of the core of the element. Your strength has reached the advanced stage of command level, and you have fallen into a brief bottleneck period. You feel like you're missing something crucial from the breakthrough, and after weighing the pros and cons, you decide to explore this world, look for opportunities to break through yourself. You have hidden your breath and left your birthplace. By comparing your strength with the surrounding creatures, you are certain that you are not weak in this world. In a month, you have crossed an unknown distance in one direction, encountered countless and diverse creatures, and experienced a lot of battles, greatly improving your control over your own strength. On this day, as you were moving forward, you suddenly felt an immensely urgent desire coming from your soul. You looked towards the west, and your intuition told you that there was an opportunity for you to break through. After thinking for a moment, you chose to follow your soul's desire and your intuition, change direction, and move towards the west. As you get closer to the location of the soul's desired object, you notice that the concentration of fire elements around you is increasing, and there are also waves of boiling lava flames emerging one after another. End of this chapter. Chapter 3. First Simulation, Medium. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Chapter 3. First Simulation, Medium. You accidentally entered the territory of a group of fiery snakes and engaged in a great war with them. You manipulated the power of thunder to kill countless fiery snakes, but they seemed to be fearless of death and launched a continuous stream of suicidal attacks on you. While you were killing the flame snake swarm, you kept searching for the location of the leader of the flame snake swarm. After a moment, you sense the flame snake king hidden deep in the lava sea. Without hesitation, you offer the elemental divine bow, and the thunderbolt arrow swiftly shoots out, tearing apart the lava domain and annihilating it. The flame snake king died, and the group of flame snake that was already afraid of your strength suddenly scattered and fled. You didn't pay attention to those fleeing flame snake groups, so you continued to move forward. On the following journey, you did not encounter any other Warcraft populations and arrived at your destination quite smoothly. It was a real inferno sea of flames, with the flames so intense that even you, who were in the advanced stage of the commander level, could not bear it. You can clearly feel that the thing your soul desires is located deep in this infernal sea of fire, but at the same time, you also perceive a terrifying aura lurking within it. After hesitating for a moment, you strengthened your determination and controlled the power of thunder to condense a set of thunder armor around you. Then, you stepped into the flames of the fierce prison. As soon as you entered the sea of flames in the fierce prison, it was as if you had triggered some protective mechanism. Countless pillars of flames rose up from the sky, as if burning down the intruder. Ignoring these fiery pillars that cannot even be pierced by the thunder armor, you gaze into the depths of the blaze sea from afar. That is where you have the opportunity to break through, and also where you encounter the strongest opponent. After arriving in this world, you summon the elemental divine bow without hesitation, injecting the maximum power of thunder elements into it. The terrifying force that can cross levels and strike the monarch is constantly nurturing. Even the scattered rays of thunder that destroy the lightning arrow can easily scatter into a lightning field, suppressing the fire elements within hundreds of meters around you. Feeling a deadly threat, the unknown existence let out a roar, and in an instant, the sea of fire surged, revealing its figure. It was a Yenhua three-headed python wrapped in crystal-clear red scales like agate, with a body length of over 100 meters. Yenhua's three-headed python glared at you angrily, its bloodthirsty mouth opening fiercely. Countless flames surged out of itself and converged at the middle head. After accumulating energy, a burst of flames exhaled and sprayed out. With the strong support of the surrounding fire elements, its power became even more terrifying. You looked disdainfully at the incoming flames exhaling, gently releasing the tense bowstring, and the destructive lightning arrow burst out of the air, as if traveling through space, colliding with the flames exhaling. In an instant there was no accident at all. The destruction thunderbolt easily tore through the flames and exhaled its breath, and its remaining momentum continued to pierce through the Yen Fire three-headed python. The subsequent burst of destruction thunderbolt completely annihilated its body. After killing the Yen Fire three-headed python, you control the power of thunder to surround yourself and resist the increasingly terrifying flames. Arriving at the center of the flame sea in the hell, you have seen the goal of this trip, an incredibly magnificent and rhythmically flowing flame of heaven and earth. The blazing sun prison fire. At the moment of seeing the scorching sun in prison, your soul and even your origin burst out with an uncontrollable desire, stemming from the desire for evolution and transformation. 3 years later, you will completely devour and absorb the flames of the blazing sun prison, evolve from its original source, transform into the holy spirit of thunder flame, and simultaneously wield the power of thunder and flames. Not only that, you have also broken through the realm of monarchy and stepped into the position of a moderate monarch. Through this, you have come to understand the true role of your talents and your future path. Devouring and absorbing various powerful elements and spiritual objects from heaven and earth, constantly transforming your own origin, and ultimately achieving the master of elements. After realizing your own path, relying on your innate ability to sense elemental spirits, you travel the continent and devour the power of merging one element after another. In 10 years, you have successively mastered the power of ice, water, earth, and wind elements, and your strength has risen to the pinnacle of the imperial throne. Due to your promotion to the throne, countless elemental creatures joined the elemental temple you established in admiration of your figure and strength. Through this, the elemental temple rapidly expanded and quickly became one of the top powers in the mainland. In the next 10 years, even with the help of the elemental temple, you still couldn't find a high-quality elemental spiritual object that could make you, at the imperial level, devour and transform into your original source. Although you have not been able to transform your original source again, your current essence of life has reached a point where even the gods will be distracted. After several transformations, With the support of powerful talents, you have reached the limit of a moderate emperor, only one step away from breaking through the roof of the emperor. Another decade has passed quietly, and there is still no news of high-quality elemental spirits. However, you have found another path to break through your strength. Element fusion. After continuous experimental attempts, you have successfully integrated the power of all the elements you control, giving birth to an inherently high power. Driven by this high power, you have easily broken through the barrier between the Roof Emperor and the Medium Emperor, truly entering the ranks of the world's top-level powerhouses. Even though your strength has greatly improved, you still haven't developed any sense of relaxation, because above the Roof Emperor, there are still half-god old monsters and even legendary omnipotent gods. In the same year, the Land of Miracles emerged, giving rise to countless ancient beings that were unknown and dormant on the mainland. In just a few days, hundreds of semi-divine old monsters that had not been active on the mainland for tens of thousands of years emerged, just to enter the Land of Miracles and obtain a chance to ascend the throne. You choose to enter the Land of Miracles without hesitation in search of opportunities, not only to obtain the elemental spiritual objects of the source of transformation, but also to have confidence in your own strength. After multiple transformations, combining the power of multiple elements and wielding the elemental divine bow, even if you have just stepped into the Roof Emperor, your combat power will never be inferior to that of an ordinary demigod, and self-protection is not a problem. After years of exploration, you have gained many opportunities to reach the pinnacle of the Roof Emperor and gain a good understanding of the power of various elemental laws. With your innate talent that makes the god stand tall at the same time, with the terrifying power of fighting higher and higher, you have become a goalkeeper in the first tier of the Imperial realm, and have made a resounding name in the miraculous land where countless races, emperors, and demigods gather in countless worlds. In the 5th year, it is rumored that the Heavenly God Tower, which can obtain the opportunity to become a god by climbing to the top, will be opened. The Heavenly God Tower is divided into 9 levels, and the difficulty depends on the challenger's level. You, who have received the news, come to climb the tower. The opponent on the first floor is a Roof Emperor, and you can easily kill it in seconds. The opponent on the second floor is 2 Roof Emperors, and you can still easily pass the level. You quickly arrived at the 3rd level, with a sudden increase in difficulty. Your opponent's strength increased from easily killing the Roof Emperor to the early demigod stage, but your strength is obviously even stronger. Demon level division. Servant level. Non-mainstream, representing Giant-eyed Crimson Rat, ordinary level, One-eyed Demon Wolf, servant level. Advanced period. General level. Junior General, Medium General, Major General, General level. Advanced stage, Medium level. Full training, Commander level. Junior Commander, Intermediate Commander, Grand Commander, Commander level. Advanced period, Advanced full training. Sovereigns. Sub-Monarch, 1 series surpasses 1, but cannot release super-level magic alone. Ordinary Monarch, 1 series surpasses 1, Moderate Monarch, 1 series surpasses 2, Great Monarch, 1 series surpasses 3, Top Monarch, Super-level Full Cultivator, Supreme Monarch, Top ranking 1, Emperors. Asian Emperor, Ordinary Emperor, Medium Emperor, Roof of the World Emperor, Dark Emperor. The strongest one has already reached another level of power. P.S. Unless one possesses powerful innate talents, spiritual seeds, soul seeds, heavenly seeds, or magical tools, humans are far from being opponents of demons of the same level. End of this chapter. Chapter 4. First Simulation, Part 2. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 4. First Simulation, Part 2. On the 5th level, the opponent's strength is once again elevated. In the mid-divine stage, you did not use the elemental divine bow in this battle, but used the power of elemental fusion to kill them after a series of entanglements. On the 7th level, in the late demigod stage, facing the existence of this level, you need to exert all your strength. You no longer want to sharpen the power of elemental fusion, but directly sacrifice the elemental divine bow. After a fierce battle, gather all your strength with 1 arrow to end the battle. It took a considerable amount of time to pass the 8th level, and you have arrived at the last and 9th levels of the Heavenly God Tower. This time, your opponent is already a perfect demigod faced with such strong enemies, you have been in a state of absolute suppression from the beginning. However, you have not given up, but have been struggling with all your might. Under unparalleled pressure, your perception of the power of elemental fusion has rapidly improved. Finally, the power of the elements you have mastered has been fully integrated in a true sense, and your strength has once again made a huge breakthrough, no less than the existence of the half-god perfection. After several days of fierce battles, you have found it extremely difficult to defeat the half-god perfection as an emperor and successfully passed the Heavenly God Tower. You have obtained the clearance reward of the Heavenly God Tower. Choose any item from the Supreme Treasure and have a 1-year understanding time of the Sea of Laws. You have chosen the Space Heart from the vast treasure trove of the Heavenly God Tower, which is enough to drive the gods crazy. It can enhance your talent in space and assist in understanding the laws of space. Subsequently, you close down in the cultivation room prepared by the Heavenly God Tower for the climbers. 20 years later, with the help of the Heart of Space, you successfully transformed your talent Space Mastery, purple, into Space Control, gold, and comprehended the laws of space. 50 years later, you begin to weave a divine grid and officially embark on the path to becoming a god. 200 years later, you advance to the mid-demigod stage, and 500 years later, you break through to the late demigod stage. At this point, you clearly feel that the progress of understanding the law is slowing down, as you are different from others. You need to simultaneously understand the 6 elemental laws, the fusion law, and the spatial law, which symbolizes one of the highest. After thinking for a moment, you did not choose to directly enter the Sea of Laws, but decided to temporarily leave the Heavenly God Tower and continue to explore the Land of Miracles in search of opportunities. Due to your unparalleled strength in the Land of Miracles, all the treasures encountered along the way are easily taken into your bag. However, unfortunately, no matter how many treasures there are, they do not have much effect on you. 100 years have passed quickly, and you still have not been able to find the elemental spiritual objects that can transform your own origin. Since there are no items of this level in the Land of Miracles, you can create them yourself. So you focus on the semi-divine powerhouses who have understood the law of light and darkness. With their invincible strength, you start secretly hunting these powerhouses, depriving them of the power of light and darkness within their bodies. However, your reckless hunting of demigods was soon exposed, which caused panic among the major forces in the Land of Miracles. Countless demigod powerhouses, especially those who understood the laws of light and darkness, formed a campaign alliance to kill you. So, a shocking battle broke out that shook the entire Land of Miracles. This battle destroyed billions of miles of land, and countless divine blood spilled into the 9 heavens. In the end, you won. With your own strength, you defeated more than 90% of the demigods in the alliance to conquer. Through this battle, you have become recognized as the uncrowned lord and the strongest in the Land of Miracles, and at the same time, you have condensed a crystal of light and dark laws that can transform your own origin. You searched for a place at will to start absorbing the crystallization of the law of light and darkness in seclusion. After 100 years, you successfully mastered the power of light and darkness elements, understood the law of light and darkness, and woven it into the unfinished divine grid. After 1,000 years, you have advanced your understanding of various laws except for spatial laws to 99.99%. And you have begun to focus all your energy on spatial laws. Another 1,000 years have passed by, and you have finally fully integrated the Heart of Space into its origin, advancing your understanding of spatial laws to 99%. At this point, all your laws are only 0.01% short of complete mastery, and you have reached semi-divine perfection. In order to take the final step, you used the Heavenly God Tower to gain an opportunity to comprehend the Sea of Laws. You arrived at the Sea of Laws and felt the power of laws that manifested all essence around you. You didn't waste any time and began to enter a state of enlightenment. In the first month, you mastered the laws of thunder. In the second month, you mastered the laws of fire and water. In the third month, you mastered the laws of wind, earth, and ice. In the fourth month, you mastered the laws of light and darkness. In the 6th month, you mastered the laws of fusion, and in the 12th month, you mastered the laws of space. Leaving the sea of laws, you no longer suppress yourself and inject all the power of your own laws into the divine realm that is being condensed. 3,000 years later, the divine realm is successfully condensed, and you have become the supreme deity. Due to the simulator's temporary inability to support the simulation of divine realms, this simulation is interrupted. You have received an S+ review and can choose from 3 of the following rewards. Reward 1. Talent. Elemental Spirit, Gold, Reward 2. Talent. Accompanying Divine Martial Arts, Gold, Reward 3. Talent. Space Control, Gold, Reward 4. Core of Elements, injecting sufficient elemental power can give birth to any attribute of the Holy Spirit. Note: the potential of this Holy Spirit far exceeds that of a full time level Holy Spirit. Reward 5. Scroll Holy Spirit Destruction, the ultimate strike of the Elemental God, containing the power to destroy the star realm. Reward 6. Element Seed. After fusion, it will be transformed into an element seed with corresponding attributes, which can continuously transform as cultivation increases, and can transform up to a divine seed. You have received the highest level of evaluation. May I ask if you want to solidify this simulation into a real template? A series of prompts popped up, and Qin Shaoqing first focused on simulation solidification. Simulation solidification became a real template. Was it as he imagined? Cure current simulation. Successful simulation and solidification, you have obtained the first template. God of Elements. Template. God of Elements, Strength. Ordinary Servant / Divine. Fusion Time. 1 minute. Cooling Time. 120 days. Description. A perfect template with infinite possibilities. As your strength increases, one day you can perfectly inherit the power of this deity. Hiss. Upon seeing the simulator's description of the template, Qin Shaoqing took a deep breath. Surprisingly, as his strength improved, he could perfectly grasp the power of inheriting the template. You should know that this is the true power of gods, including the full Dharma plane, summoning plane, and even the dark plane. Not to mention being a god, it is estimated that the Dark King has some permission to step into a demigod, at least 108,000 miles away from the gods. Moreover, even if the initial strength is not enough to integrate and inherit, the template can still serve as a trump card, allowing him to gain far greater strength in a short period of time, thus turning the tide. However, this fusion time and cooldown time are a bit outrageous. End of this chapter. Chapter 5. Talent Transformation. You are listening at Novel Full. Audio. Chapter 5 Talent Transformation. The reality template has been solidified, and Qin Shaoqing's focus is on evaluating rewards. Reward 4, he did not awaken the summoning system and directly passed. Reward 5, containing the ultimate blow to shatter the star realm, is definitely a dimensionality-reducing blow when placed in a full. Time Mage's position. However, if this blow cannot be freely controlled, it will not only solve the crisis but also raise the entire Mage's position. Pass. Reward 6, an element that can grow into a divine seed. To be honest, he is very tempted, but compared to 3 golden talents, they are still more precious. I choose to reward 1 to 3. May I ask if you want to load talents immediately? Is there any special phenomenon when loading talents? Before loading, Qin Shaoqing asked. After all, he was not the only one in the dormitory. None. A simple word made Qin Shaoqing no longer have any concerns. Simulator, load talents now. In the loading of talent element Holy Spirit, adaptive change to element control, talent accompanying divine weapon, space control loading. With the addition of 3 talents, the slowly rotating purple stardust in the spiritual world suddenly erupted with various colors of brilliance, shining together like a dream. In a chaotic and void area nearby, a mysterious and vast silver light shines brightly. At the same time, a mysterious mark quietly condensed on the back of Qin Shaoqing's hand. I don't know how long it has been, but Qin Shaoqing slowly opened his eyes and his face was full of excitement and excitement. The 3 golden talents brought him a qualitative leap. Element Control transformed his initial Thunder series into an elemental series that simultaneously controlled thunder, fire, water, ice, wind, earth, light, and darkness. Space Control, on the other hand, allowed him to break free from the limitations of magical rules and awaken his second space series. Light is an elemental system, and Shadow is a dark magic system. It may seem strange to say that, of course, I won't change the original setting, but the protagonist's dark system belongs to his elemental system. However, strictly speaking, the protagonist's dark system should be the dark system, not the shadow system. The most important thing is that his elemental and spatial systems are vastly different from the magic systems awakened by ordinary people. Rather than being magic systems, it is more appropriate to say that they are abilities and so on. Because he doesn't need to connect to the star orbit to release magic according to his own will, and the form of releasing magic is completely unaffected by the framework of the magic system. For example, his space system is only at beginner level 1, but he can already use space teleportation, but it is very expensive and the teleportation distance is not far. And the ultimate growth magic tool brought by the accompanying divine martial talent. The Void Chain, also satisfied Qin Shaoqing immensely. Void Chain feature. The consumption of magic energy can be infinitely extended. Feature 2. When imprisoning a target that has not exceeded the limit, it can block all its properties of power. Feature 3. When imprisoning an oversized target, it can continuously devour and weaken its power. Feature 4. The defense of targets confined by the void chain will be significantly weakened, depending on the number of entangled void chains and the comparison of enemy-friendly strength. In addition, the transformation brought about by talent is also reflected in the template. Template. God of Elements, Realm. Servant level Advanced Stage / Divine Realm. Fusion time. 5 minutes. Cooling time. 30 days. Summer turns autumn, and withered yellow leaves gently roll in the wind, falling gracefully onto the campus playground. Time passed by rapidly in cultivation, and after awakening, Qin Shaoqing felt like more than 2 months had passed before he had done anything. In the past 2 months, Qin Shaoqing only did one thing, which was to cultivate the underworld. Of course, at the current stage, he only needs to cultivate and refine the stars and accumulate magic energy, as he can directly skip the control stage for both elemental and spatial systems. At dusk, as the mountains gradually recede, the afterglow of the sun shines on the city, dyeing the sky red. Standing at the school gate, Qin Shaoqing lazily stretched out his waist, and the setting sun shone on his face, highlighting his handsomeness and depth. Since his awakening, he has hardly ever left the school gate. During this time, he has spent more than 10 hours of meditation every day, attending classes, eating, sleeping, and his daily routine is so regular that it can hardly be more regular. After thinking about it, Qin Shaoqing is planning to visit Xinxia. He hasn't seen her for over 2 months, and he still misses this cat girl quite a bit. As soon as Qin Shaoqing thought of the surprised expression on her face when waiting for Xinxia to see her, she couldn't help but gradually curl her lips. Get on the bus and head towards Mingwen Middle School. Without encountering any cliché plot along the way, Qin Shaoqing quickly arrived at Mingwen Girls' High School. Mingwen Middle School is a women's high school, belonging to a private high school, which gathers the most tender and fashionable girls in the entire Bo City. The alleys around the campus are crowded with all kinds of luxury cars. Qin Shaoqing is very familiar with Xinxia's personality. She will quietly avoid these cliché girls who compare luxury car levels, take the alley path that belongs to her, and wander alone in the fragrance of the small green bamboo planted by the residents by the windowsill avoiding the main entrance. Qin Shaoqing arrived at the alley and leaned against the wall, waiting for the arrival of Xinxia. In no time, a beautiful figure slowly entered the alley. Brother Shaoqing. The sweet voice of the young girl sounded in his ear, as if the orchids were lingering in his heart. Looking ahead, a graceful wheelchair girl caught the eye, with a fair and delicate face, slender and trembling eyelashes, delicate small nose bridge, and a jade and pink lips, like long black hair hanging from a waterfall. Heart Summer. Qin Shaoqing walked towards her with a smile on his face. Sitting quietly in the wheelchair, Xinxia gazed at the figure who had been longing for her for a long time as she walked towards her. Her face gradually wore a gentle smile, and ripples rose in her pure eyes like water. Walking up to Xinxia, Qin Shaoqing reached out and gently touched her head. "Long time no see, haven't you missed me?" Feeling the warmth and touch emanating from her head, Xinxia's cheeks were slightly rosy, and a happy smile appeared on her peaceful and pretty face, like an obedient kitten to its owner, quietly enjoying the touch from Qin Shaoqing. An indescribable sense of security also rose in her heart, and in her mind, she couldn't help but recall the scene where she was bullied by that group of thugs and Qin Shaoqing stood up for her. To this day, the words spoken by Qin Shaoqing at that moment still resonate in her ear. On that day, the young man endured the pain and stood in front of the girl, looking down at the thugs who had been knocked down by him, making a domineering declaration. "She, Xinxia, is my Qin Shaoqing's person. If you dare to have any thoughts about her again, I don't mind letting you completely disappear from this world. Do you understand? If you understand, get out of here. Don't let me see you again." Although somewhat shy, Xinxia no longer wanted to conceal the feelings that had already sprouted in her heart. She lowered her head, reached out her hand, and tightly grabbed Qin Shaoqing's hem. The blush on her cheeks became even more tempting. Noticing Xinxia's movements, Qin Shaoqing was slightly surprised. Previously, Xinxia was not so brave, and indeed, a brief farewell was the best emotional catalyst. "Cough cough, our mother and fetus have been solo so far, and I don't understand how many of them are written. Don't complain if it's not correct. Equal order comparison fine. Tuning. The supreme monarch corresponds to the pinnacle of power. The Asian emperor corresponds to a forbidden mage who cannot release the forbidden spell alone. The previous text has been modified, please skip the correct ones." End of this chapter. Chapter 6. Xinxia's Affection. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 6. Xinxia's Affection. Taking back his hand, Qin Shaoqing held the small hand that Xinxia was holding onto his clothes in the palm of his hand, with the corners of his mouth slightly raised. He said in a mischievous tone, "Hee hee. Girl, since you miss me, should you kiss and hold me high?" Unexpectedly, upon hearing these words, Xinxia not only did not refute and refuse, but also gathered the courage to lift her head and gaze at him for a moment. Then she slowly closed her clear and transparent eyes, as if they were a clear spring. At the same time, the slightly trembling eyelashes and the small hands with nowhere to place showed the restlessness in her heart at this moment. Looking at the little girl in front of her with tightly closed eyes, a rosy face, and a look of being picked by Renjun, Qin Shaoqing chuckled and didn't hesitate too much. She slowly bent down to embrace her. The girls are so proactive. If he doesn't do something, he's still not a man. With his lips touching, Qin Shaoqing began to taste the delicate and soft first kiss of the young girl. The beauty of this taste was not enough for outsiders. Of course, Qin Shaoqing did not go too far. He did not give a French tongue kiss on the first occasion of Xinxia, but rather tasted it lightly. Some things can only be felt step by step, and they are all obtained in one go. Isn't it too boring? Lips parted, Xinxia's soft body collapsed in Qin Shaoqing's arms, her head resting on his shoulder, her eyes blurred, and her face flushed. Although shy, at this moment, Xinxia's heart was more filled with happiness and satisfaction. Finally, she and Shaoqing's brother had a closer development. Unexpectedly, she had the idea that it would be better if time could stay at this moment forever, so that she could always lean on this broad shoulder that made her crave. The fragrance lingered at the tip of his nose, teasing the strings of his heart, and attached to Xinxia's ear. Qin Shaoqing asked in a warm voice, "Do you like it?" The warm breath beat against the crystal-clear earlobes, feeling the strange sound coming from her ears. Xinxia was full of shyness. "I like it." Her voice was very soft, and it would be difficult to hear clearly if the two were not close enough. "I like it too." Qin Shaoqing responded softly, with a gentle expression in his eyes. The girl in his arms was worthy of his lifelong indulgence. For a moment of warmth, Qin Shaoqing took the initiative to release Xinxia, came behind her, and slowly pushed the wheelchair forward. Leaving the embrace of Qin Shaoqing, although Xinxia had some regrets, she still felt more joy. Because the road between them is still very long, it is a road that can last a lifetime together. Let's go home." "Well, let's go home." The gentle breeze brushed past, teasing the girl's hair and also stirring the strings of their hearts. In the afterglow of the sunset, the shadows of the two continued to elongate, approach, and interweave on the way home. The two of them chatted without a word. "Brother Shaoqing, what lineage have you awakened?" Upon hearing this question, Qin Shaoqing's eyes lit up instantly and he said with some pride, "Lei, how about it? I'm a genius, right?" Seeing Qin Shaoqing showing off to her like a child, Xinxia couldn't help but smile slightly. "This feeling is really good. How impressive." Xinxia also cooperated and showed the scene that Qin Shaoqing wanted to see. Of course, she was indeed somewhat surprised and proud of him. After all, that is the Thunder series, with an awakening rate of 1,000th or even lower. In this small city, the knowledge learned all along tells them that the Thunder series is the most perfect and powerful initial series. In small cities, there are hardly any magic spells that awaken at the first level except for elemental ones, except for Xinxia. Oh, it seems like there's also that Bai Yang. I don't know what kind of consciousness I can awaken in the future. Xinxia looked forward to it. That will definitely be a very rare and powerful system, Qin Shaoqing said. The first-level awakening healing system, the middle-level soul system, and the high-level healing system, and carrying the Parthenon spirit, Xinxia is simply a national treasure-level auxiliary. Upon hearing the conviction in Qin Shaoqing's words, Xinxia became increasingly excited about her future magical awakening. She wanted to quickly awaken a useful magic system and be able to help Shaoqing's brother in the future. After sending Xinxia back to Mo Fan's sister-in-law's doorstep, the two hugged and bid farewell. At the door, Xinxia gazed at Qin Shaoqing's gradually receding figure, unable to recall it for a long time. At this moment, Mo Qing walked up behind Xinxia and joked, "It's time to come to my senses. I've already walked so far. Do you want to be a watchman's stone?" "Auntie." The girl's coquettish voice sounded, expressing her inner shyness. "Oh, Shaoqing, you're back. Didn't Mo Fan come back with you?" Just as he took out the key and was about to open the door, suddenly a loyal and honest voice came from behind, interrupting his movements. Upon hearing the familiar voice, Qin Shaoqing turned around. "Uncle Mo, my main reason for coming back this time is to meet Xinxia. As for Mo Fan, he is still buried in school practicing." That's right, his neighbor is the Mo family. When he found out that his neighbor was the Mo family, he was shocked. At the same time, I was also a bit afraid. After all, their family has a black bishop in red, sarong. If I accidentally show something when I meet her, just cool down. Fortunately, Yi Chang did not stay in the small place of Bo City for too long. Soon, she left Xinxia and planned her revenge plan to vent her inner darkness and anger, so it can be said that Qin Shaoqing, Mo Fan, and Xinxia grew up together, and because his parents were demon hunters, they would go out to complete the commission after a period of time. At that time, they would entrust themselves to the care of Mo Jiaxing. Later, his parents unfortunately died in a demon hunting commission, and the kind-hearted Mo Jiaxing spontaneously took on the responsibility of taking care of Qin Shaoqing. One of the high-risk occupations. As for why Mo Jiaxing still lives here, according to the development of the original work, his property should have been mortgaged in order to ask Mu He to let Mo Fan enter the Sky Blue Magic High School. This is naturally because the arrival of Qin Shaoqing led to a significant change in the original plot, and the relationship between Mo Fan and Mu Ningxue was not too intimate under his influence. Therefore, the elopement of Mo Fan with Mu Ningxue did not occur, and Mo Jiaxing was not expelled from the Mu family in Bucheng. He is still the driver of the Mu family until now. To be honest, most of the grudges between Mo Fan and the Mu family in Bucheng were created by him. Well, it seems that Mo Fan has really changed this time. Mo Jiaxing's tone was filled with a sense of relief, as every parent has a heart that hopes for their children to become successful. However, Mo Fan's past actions are simply indescribable. Before entering junior high school, Mo Fan was a true genius, and Mo Jiaxing had always been proud of him. However, for some reason, he suddenly changed and became unwilling to learn, becoming a sludge that could not be supported by the wall. Perhaps you can say that this is just Mo Fan's unwillingness to show, he just wants to make a big splash, but has he considered what his father thinks? The starting point of Q review was later modified, and the initial version of Mo Fan was set as a genius, intentionally lowering the score just to make a splash. Perhaps in reality, due to the influence of Qin Shaoqing, Mo Fan's only headache for Mo Jiaxing is his grades. What about the original work? It is understandable that Mu Ningxue, the youngest princess of the Mu family in Bucheng, got very close to her. However, due to her young recklessness, she took her away and eloped without considering the consequences after Mu Ningxue said she wanted to leave the family. Perhaps he thought it was very romantic and manly, but the ultimate result was that his father was fired by the Mu family and lost his job. Then Mo Jiaxing exchanged his house for Mo Fan's admission qualification. After hearing what Mu He said, Mo Fan felt very angry and said, "You Mu family, don't bully me for being young, don't bully me for being down. When I fly yellow, I insist that you repay me 10 times or 100 times. Although Mu He is not a good person, did he say any wrong word? Isn't everything he said exactly the messy appearance you have shown yourself? Everything is written in the initial version, it seems like it's getting further and further apart. Stop it." End of this chapter. Chapter 7. The God Template for the First Fusion of Elements. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 7. The God Template for the First Fusion of Elements. After chatting briefly, Mo Jiaxing stepped forward and patted Qin Shaoqing's shoulder. "Shaoqing, come home with me for dinner first. It's been so long, I'll prepare a big meal for you." "Okay." Qin Shaoqing naturally wouldn't refuse. He spent much longer time with Mo Jiaxing than with his true parents in this life, so for him, Mo Jiaxing was like a father. The protagonist was an orphan in his past life, starting from an orphanage. Although it may be late, he will never be absent. After a warm dinner, Qin Shaoqing helped Mo Jiaxing tidy up and wash the utensils before returning to the home where he lived alone. Taking out the key to open the door, Qin Shaoqing walked in and found that the house was quite clean. Although it had not been back for over 2 months, there was not much dust accumulation in the room, indicating that someone had cleaned it. You don't have to think about who this person is. An indescribable warmth surged from the bottom of my heart. I couldn't believe that he, who had almost no ties in his past life, could come to this world and obtain such ties that he cared so much about. What a stroke of fate. Returning to his own room, Qin Shaoqing locked the door, drew the curtains, and prepared to merge the elemental god template for the first time. He had a premonition that the first fusion of templates would definitely bring him unexpected gains. With a mental movement, the template of the elemental god is added to the body. Qin Shaoqing felt a vast and infinite force constantly gushing out of his own body. In a daze, he seemed to see an elemental deity standing on the top of the 9 heavens, with one hand capable of destroying the star realm. Is this the power brought by the elemental god template? It's really fascinating. Feeling the terrifying force emerging from his body at this moment, Qin Shaoqing muttered to himself, with a tone that contained a sense of intoxication towards the powerful force. In this state, he felt that he had the power to control everything, whether it was the power of many elements or the unpredictable power of space, everything was under control. Therefore, he couldn't help but have the idea that he could destroy everything with a wave of his hand. Of course, these are all illusions, and Qin Shaoqing did not indulge too much in powerful power, because one day he would be able to completely control this divine power, rather than just borrowing it as he does now. In the next few minutes, Qin Shaoqing did not waste a single moment, fully focused on realizing the power far beyond his current level. A large amount of inspiration and insights inspire collision and interweaving, which will turn into his potential foundation and become the nourishment for him to become stronger. After the fusion time is over, the power inside the body quickly dissipates, and a faint sense of regret flows through the heart. However, the sense of regret had just emerged when it was shattered by the mutation that appeared in the spiritual world element system. Consciously immersed in the spiritual world, Qin Shaoqing witnessed with his own eyes the diamond-shaped crystal symbolizing the divine seed of elements slowly condensing in the center of the elemental stardust suspended in the dazzling and intertwined colors of various elements. After the heart of the element is fully condensed, a large amount of information about its function and characteristics appears in the mind. The heart of elements characteristic, the seed of the elemental deity, with unparalleled growth potential, can become a true elemental deity after multiple transformations. Feature 2. Magic Power Enhancement, current increase is equivalent to Spirit Seed. 2.5 times power feature can create additional effects of the power of each element contained within the element according to one's heart. After each transformation of the element's heart, it can create another effect or strengthen the original effect. After understanding the incredible effect of the heart of elements, all that remained was the simple word, lying trough. Beginner-level mages can bring 2.5 times more power to their magic, which is already within the realm of spiritual seeds. Generally speaking, only mid-level mages are qualified to bear the burden of spiritual seed blessings. Even if beginner-level mages obtain spiritual seeds, it is almost impossible for them to absorb and control them. Then comes the creation of additional effects. Creating additional effects according to one's heart is not just about obtaining whatever additional effects one wants, but also about creating or strengthening the previous effects for each level of improvement from the beginning. What is the side effect? A very powerful soul seed only has an additional effect. And a powerful side effect can almost be equivalent to the blessing brought by innate talents, and one can imagine how powerful this feature is. After calming his inner excitement for a while, Qin Shaoqing began to focus on creating the effects of various elemental powers. Fire type. Nirvana fire, standing in the flames can quickly recover one's own injuries. Thunder type. Heavenly thunder judgment, each strike of thunder power can stack a layer of judgment mark on the target. After detonating the mark, heavenly thunder can be summoned to bombard the target. Cough cough, Lei Ho really can't think of a better choice. Wind system. Tearing, wind is like a knife cutting, containing the ultimate power of tearing and cutting. Light. Blessing of light, all your light magic has a powerful healing effect on friendly units and a decent burning effect on enemies. Dark system. Darkness drain, devours the enemy's vitality and soul to restore self-consumption. Water system. Heavenly weight, Chong, heavy water, if water is heavenly weight, a drop of water can absorb the vast ocean, and a drop of water can break through all things. Earth type. Solid as a rock, your earth-type magic will have a hardness level far exceeding that of attack magic of the same level. Ice type. Frost erosion, your ice-type magic has a terrifying ice invasion power, temporarily a weakened version of the Antarctic ice invasion power. Note. The effects of each accessory can be continuously improved with the transformation of the Heart of Elements. After spending a lot of time conceptualizing and creating the effects of each element's power, Qin Shaoqing himself felt that his current real strength was somewhat outrageous. Except for the fusion template, if all the other trumps are played, he may only be able to claim respect in the first level as a beginner at level 1. Qin Shaoqing stretched lazily, feeling comfortable. He didn't plan to continue practicing for the rest of today, so it was necessary to relax appropriately. After washing up, Qin Shaoqing walked to the window in his pajamas, with his hands resting on the windowsill. He looked up at the bright full moon hanging high in the night sky adorned with countless stars, and his thoughts fluttered in his mind. The gentle evening breeze brushed against his face, gently stirring his broken hair and blowing into his heart. Dad, Mom, I'm doing very well now, and in the future, I'll have a better life. I will also make many beautiful confidants, and then I will carry forward the bloodline of our old Qin family. You guys, rest assured. A deep voice fell into the night, narrating the youth's sadness and expressing his release. Subconsciously touching his cheek, Qin Shaoqing realized that tears had already scratched his face before he knew it. Set up supplements power coefficient of element species spirit. 2.3 soul. 4.6 day. 8, to be discussed again, P.S. Cough, I feel like I'm hanging up a bit too big, but it's not a big problem. I can hold on. End of this chapter. Chapter 8. Entering the City Monster Hunting Team. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 8. Entering the City Monster Hunting Team. After the holiday ended, Qin Shaoqing returned to Tianlan Magic High School and impressed his homeroom teacher Xue Mushing with his profound knowledge of magic theory, obtaining the qualification to enter and exit the school freely and learn independently without the need for classes. For Qin Shaoqing now, continuing to study the theoretical courses he had already mastered at Tianlan Magic High School is meaningless. No matter how rich the theoretical knowledge is, without truly experiencing practical experience, everything is just confusion. Moreover, compared to ordinary burying one's head in meditation, combat and experience, it is one of the best ways to enhance one's strength. Of course, Qin Shaoqing was not so arrogant as to dare to leave the Xinxia to hunt down demons in the wilderness. The wilderness is a paradise and hunting ground for demons, as well as a burial ground for countless creatures. Any slight mistake would lead to irreparable disaster. So Qin Shaoqing planned to join the city demon hunting team as a leisure mage as an early transition, continuously accumulating experience in fighting demons while ensuring his own safety, in preparation for going to the Xiefeng mountain station and even leaving the security realm to go to the wilderness in the future. Having found a hidden place, Qin Shaoqing put on a prepared silver mask and tied a large cloak to cover his body. He arrived at the Hunter Alliance Hall. Cough, I feel like wearing a mask is quite impressive, but let's make do with it. This plot shouldn't be too long. The Hunter Alliance is a large organization that brings together idle hunter teams, with its stronghold spread across major cities across the country. Every day, countless hunter mages enter the lobby of the Hunter Alliance to search for and complete commission rewards suitable for them, in order to obtain rewards and improve the level of hunters. Entering the lobby of the Hunter Alliance, Qin Shaoqing felt like he was following the market, surrounded by people moving and shouting one after another. There is a huge electronic display board hanging on the wall of the lobby, which displays a large number of recently announced commission rewards with varying difficulty levels. Of course, the rewards that can be displayed on the display board start at 100,000 yuan, and even reach millions. Not paying too much attention to the reward commission on the display board, Qin Shaoqing's goal for this trip is very clear, which is to join the city demon hunting team. The Rhinoceros Squad is looking for a fire mage, who is required to possess strong mental qualities, be proficient in releasing fire magic, know how to cooperate with the team in combat, and offer rewards based on merit. The Fire Wolf team is recruiting a Earth-type mage, who is required to remain calm in the face of demons and be able to release earth waves in a timely manner to change teammates' positions or restrict the demons' movements. Passing through the recruitment areas of various demon hunting teams shouting, he walked straight towards the exclusive recruitment platform of the city demon hunting team. Because the city monster hunting team has not yet started recruiting, its recruitment platform appears quite deserted, with almost no one applying. However, to avoid missing out on excellent wizards who want to join the city monster hunting team, they still keep a recruiter to guard at all times. Walking to the recruitment platform of the city demon hunting team, Xinxia did not submit her resume according to the process, but instead stared at the recruiters without saying a word. Glancing at the strangely dressed and behaving applicant in front of him, Wang Yu casually asked, "Are you here to apply for the city monster hunting team? Where is your resume?" Lowering his voice, Xinxia said in a slightly low voice, "I am a mage from the Thunder sect." "Oh, you're a Thunder Mage. So what, Jane?" As she spoke, the recruiter reacted and her voice suddenly increased several degrees. "Wait, you said you're a Thunder Mage?" "That's right." Seeing the attention of the people around him suddenly being drawn to his fuss, Xinxia nodded somewhat helplessly. If possible, he didn't want to be too eye-catching. After all, he was also acting in a vest now, exposing the possibility of problems. Butching is not a good place. However, the problem is not too big. Although his attire is a bit strange, there is no shortage of strange people among the hunters who want to hide their identities. Raising his hand slightly, the lightning arcs leaped from his fingertips, revealing the identity of Xinxia as a lay-style mage. Many people couldn't help but exclaim when they saw this behind the scenes. Sleeping slot, surprisingly, there are really Thunder-type mages applying for the city monster hunting team. Ah, the Thunder Mage is also coming to grab our jobs. With the addition of this Thunder Mage to the city monster hunting team, it's hard to say when the recruitment will officially open again in the future. The words discussed by everyone were filled with envy. It was the city monster hunting team. With a certain guarantee of mission safety, they could also receive extremely generous rewards. Of course, they were not jealous. The city monster hunting team protected the safety of the inner city, which was essential, but they were really envious. After confirming that the candidate was a lay-type mage, Wang Yu did not hesitate to give an offer of employment. Will he not be accepted and wait for the coveted hunter team to compete for it? As for the interview, if it's not a big deal, Captain Su Dahuang's approach here is definitely the same as his. After all, this is a Thunder-type mage, the leader of elements, with a chance of awakening in the first level of Thunder-type being less than 1 in 1,000. All along, Master Lei has been the target that all hunter teams strive to compete for. Even if he is just a rookie, there are also some elite hunter teams willing to let him join the team and vigorously cultivate him. What should I call it? Wang Yu was about to say something, but he realized that he didn't even know the title of Xinxia. Fan Mo. Xinxia didn't hesitate to use the pseudonym used by Mo Fan to join the city demon hunting team in the future. I don't know what expression Mo Fan will have when he finds out about this in the future, Xinxia thought with malicious interest. Okay, Brother Fanma, please wait a moment and I'll inform the captain. He should be here soon. Whether or not to join the city monster hunting team is entirely up to the captain to decide. He just gave a response on behalf of Su Dahuang earlier, and the actual employment can only be confirmed after Su Dahuang arrives. Hello, Lao Wang, what's up? I'm still cleaning up the scene. As soon as the phone was connected, an impatient and rough voice came from across. Captain, a Thunder-type mage just came to apply. Master Lei, are you currently in the Hunter Alliance Hall? I'll come over immediately. Also, that Master Lei, no matter what means you use, keep him for me. Before Wang Yu could say anything, Su Dahuang quickly hung up the phone. Listening to the busy sounds echoing in his ears, Wang Yu's face showed a look of helplessness, which really had the style of Su Dahuang's team leader. Then he looked at Xinxia again. Brother Fanma, our captain will be arriving soon. Please wait a little longer. No problem. That's great. By the way, My name is Wang Yu, just call me Lao Wang. Seeing that Qin Shaoqing didn't lose patience and leave because he had to wait, Wang Yu breathed a sigh of relief. It seemed that he really wanted to join the city demon hunting team. During the brief waiting time, Wang Yu roughly introduced the functions, tasks, and personnel composition of the urban demon hunting team to Qin Shaoqing. About 10 minutes later, a burly man arrived with great enthusiasm. When he saw Qin Shaoqing and Wang Yu talking, his eyes lit up. He quickly walked up to them and enthusiastically extended his hand to Qin Shaoqing. Is this brother the lay mage who wants to join our city demon hunting team? I am Su Dahuang, the captain of the city demon hunting team. Fan Ma. Qin Shaoqing held Su Dahuang's outstretched hand. End of this chapter. Chapter 9. Infectious Special Diseases. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 9 Infectious Special Diseases. Su Dahuang raised his eyebrows slightly and looked at the hidden identity of Master Lei with a hint of surprise in his eyes. Undoubtedly, this is definitely the hand of a young person, and coupled with that obviously low voice, is this Thunder Mage the son of a certain family who came out to train. Noticing Su Dahuang's gaze, the corners of Qin Shaoqing's mouth, hidden under the mask, slightly curled up. That's right, this is what Qin Shaoqing wants to achieve. It's not a problem to hide his identity, but after joining the city monster hunting team, he has to face cruel demons with them, and they can be said to have a comrade relationship of entrusting their lives to each other. Even if he is a Thunder Mage, would they really trust to hand over their backs to him, who doesn't know the details? The answer should be very clear now. So, inducing Su Dahuang to think in the direction of being a descendant of a noble family who came out to experience can be considered as giving him an explanation to gain initial trust. As for the rest, let time prove it. Ha ha ha, Brother Fanma, welcome to join our city's demon hunting team. The smile on Su Dahuang's face grew even stronger. This is a thunder-type mage. With a little training, he is definitely a sharp blade of the city monster hunting team, which can greatly reduce the damage rate of missions. By the way, Brother Fanma, I would like to know if you have any experience fighting demons. It is crucial to have experience in battling demons. Many people have good cultivation, but when they see demons, they are intimidated by their terrifying aura and cannot even release magic. Not yet. Qin Shaoqing replied truthfully, then pointed his finger at his head. However, all kinds of theoretical knowledge about demons are firmly recorded here. Upon hearing Qin Shaoqing's answer, Su Dahuang didn't say much to deal a blow. Anyway, he just needed to go out and practice when the time came. What is your current cultivation level? Beginner level 2. Qin Shaoqing reported a level, and his elemental basic power was already much higher than others. He was also blessed with 2.5 times the power of the elemental heart. He only reported an extra level, but he was still humble. Upon hearing that Qin Shaoqing's Thunder Sect had already reached level 2, Su Dahuang laughed heartily. This time, he really found a treasure. At the same time, his speculation about the identity of Qin Shaoqing became even more convinced. Captain, all the documents for the Fanma brothers have been processed. At this moment, Wang Yu walked over with a few small notebooks. Taking the document from Wang Yu's hand, Su Dahuang personally handed it to Qin Shaoqing. Here, Brother Fanma, here are the relevant documents for the city's demon hunters. From now on, you are already a law enforcement officer in Bo City, and with this document, you can enjoy many privileges. Thank you, Captain. Qin Shaoqing took the documents and casually flipped through them before putting them into his pocket. Alright, that's it for today. I still have some things to deal with now. If there are tasks in the future, I will contact you. By the way, Brother Fanma, please leave your contact information for a moment. 173 ****. Next time we meet, I'll introduce you to your future teammates. After saving his contact information, Su Dahuang left with a sentence and left in a hurry. 7 days later, Qin Shaoqing received a task notification from Su Dahuang. Brother Fanma, we have a mission to gather at the entrance of Qinming Private Hospital within half an hour. After going out and dressing up in a deserted place, Qin Shaoqing took a taxi to Qinming Private Hospital. Arriving at the entrance of the hospital, the members of the city demon hunting team had basically gathered. Brother Fanma, you're here. Su Dahuang greeted Qin Shaoqing as he saw him arrive. Captain. Qin Shaoqing nodded in response and then turned his gaze to the other four, while they also scrutinized the new member in his peculiar attire. Hello, my name is Xiaoke, a water mage. The girl who looked weak smiled sweetly and introduced herself first. Li Wenjie, Wind Style, handsome young Li Wenjie shook his flowing long hair and said with a coquettish expression. Just call me Feisher, I'm a soil-type mage, the round-faced man said with a simple and honest expression. Fan Ma, a monk of the Thunder series. At this moment, the last woman with a somewhat handsome appearance looked coldly at Qin Shaoqing and said sternly, Fan Mo, I heard from the captain that you have no experience in fighting demons, so I would like to remind you in advance that you don't think your thunder cultivation is very impressive. Demons are much more terrifying than you imagine. Pride and arrogance will only make you die in the mouth of demons. Glancing at Guo Kaitang, Qin Shaoqing did not refute. Although his tone was a bit harsh, it was also for his good. I will remember your reminder. Seeing several people getting to know each other for a while, Su Dahuang raised his hand. Alright, the chat is over. It's time to start working now. As for the specific situation, let's talk while walking. As the words fell, the security personnel who stayed behind only under the temptation of money led everyone into the completely sealed-off Qinri Private Hospital. The situation of this mission is very special. 7 days ago, a young girl fainted at home without any reason. After being sent to the hospital, all means and instruments were unable to determine the cause, and even all test data were at normal levels. Her body was not injured in any way. And on the 3rd day after the girl was sent to the hospital, one of the patients in the same ward as her also experienced the same symptoms. It wouldn't have been too harsh to report this in a timely manner. But the problem lies in the damn upper echelons of this private hospital. In order not to damage the hospital's reputation, they chose to conceal this matter and only isolated the area where the girl's ward is located first. The first few days of quarantine did have an effect, and no one else was infected with this special disease. However, within a few days, the quarantine expired, and several people with this disease appeared in the hospital at the same time. The incident escalated again, and they finally reported it because they felt they couldn't keep it hidden. What a bunch of damn bastards. After listening to the specific content of the task, Li Wenjie burst out and cursed loudly. Xiaoke, Feisher, and Guo Kaitang also furrowed their brows, expressing dissatisfaction with the upper echelons of hospitals who kept it a secret and did not report it. No matter how hard you scold them, it's useless. The most important thing now is to find out the reason why they fell into a coma. Is it a special infectious disease or is there a demon lurking behind the scenes? If this contagious disease cannot be stopped from spreading again, it may cause considerable panic when speaking. Su Dahuang's eyes were filled with worry, fearing that there might be a special infectious disease hidden in the human body among those who left the hospital. Therefore, to be on the safe side, it is necessary to identify the cause as soon as possible. Yes, Captain. End of this chapter. Chapter 10. The Sleeping Man. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 10. The Sleeping Man. Passing through the empty corridor, everyone arrived at a critical care facility. A few masters, the patient is in this room. Alright, you go first. Seeing the fear of the security personnel, Su Dahuang waved his hand and said. Upon receiving the signal, the security personnel quickly ran out. He was just an ordinary person and dared not stay here for a long time. If it weren't for the hospital giving him an undeniable amount of money, he wouldn't dare to stay at the hospital or even lead the city demon hunting team. Without further hesitation, a few people pushed open the door and walked into the intensive care facility. On several beds in the room, there were 7 poor people who relied on receiving nutritional supplements to maintain their lives, as well as a middle-aged couple who were replacing their nutritional supplements. If nothing unexpected happens, this middle-aged couple would be the parents or relatives of one of the patients. Otherwise, how could anyone dare to risk being infected and come to replace the nutrient solution used to maintain life? The middle-aged couple noticed someone pushing away the intensive care unit and came in. Before they arrived, someone told them that the city demon hunting team would come to handle this matter today. They immediately put down their actions and ran towards them with excitement on their faces. "A few masters, you must save our daughter. She's only 15 years old this year." The middle-aged couple knelt directly in front of them, crying and even wanting to kowtow to them, but Su Dahuang and Guo Kaitang stopped them in time. The two helped the middle-aged couple up and looked at the redness and swelling at the corners of their eyes and the tears on their faces, feeling very uncomfortable. "Both of you, it's very dangerous here. You should leave this room first and then hand it over to our city demon hunting team. I promise you that I will definitely give you a lively and precious daughter." This middle-aged couple are both ordinary people, and if they continue to stay in this room, there may be some problems. "Thank you, several masters. We are currently living in a room not far from here. If you have any questions, you can come and ask us at any time." After that, the middle-aged couple left the intensive care unit. Alas, poor parents' hearts all over the world. It is not difficult to tell from the words of middle-aged women that in order to prevent patients, including their daughters, from dying due to lack of nutrition, they are now living in this hospital that others are eager to leave. Even if they want to leave the hospital, security personnel are likely to stop them. After the middle-aged couple left, everyone began to observe the physical condition of the sleeping patients. Breathing, heartbeat, blood pressure, and so on are all normal to the point where they can no longer be normal. On the surface, there was no abnormality, so Su Dahuang furrowed his brow and immediately took out a sachet containing the demon-seeking powder from his pocket. The sachet was untied, revealing some sparkling powder. With a gentle blow from Su Dahuang, the demon-seeking powder immediately drifted into the air and slowly scattered throughout the room. However, the final result disappointed Su Dahuang, as the demon-seeking powder was evenly scattered in the room, indicating that there were no traces of demons appearing here. With furrowed brows, Su Dahuang gave everyone their respective tasks. "I will continue to watch here to prevent accidents. Xinxia and Infectious, you all sprinkle demon hunting powder within the hospital area, searching for any traces of the appearance of demons. Kaitang and Xiaoke, you go to the first place where the case appears to find clues. Fanma, you follow Kaitang and the others." Received. After receiving instructions, everyone immediately set off. Building 4 in Nanan community has been completely sealed off, and all residents inside have temporarily evacuated. 3 people, there are currently some issues with this building and it is under lockdown. Entry is prohibited. Security personnel saw Guo Kaitang, Qin Shaoqing, and Xiaoku walking towards Building 4 and approached to stop them. "Hello, I am the deputy captain of the city monster hunting team, coming to investigate the clues of this incident." Guo Kaitang showed the identification of the city monster hunting team. "Sorry, 3 masters, please come inside. Here are the keys." The security personnel glanced at the documents presented by Guo Kaitang and respectfully released them, while handing them the keys to all rooms in the building. The sound of clattering footsteps echoed in the quiet and open corridor, and the 3 of them walked straight to the door of room 303. Find the key corresponding to room 303 from the keychain, and Qin Shaoqing opens the door. The first thing that catches the eye is a simple and cozy living room layout. Entering the room, the 3 of them carefully searched and found no abnormalities. They also sprinkled their demon hunting powder and did not find anything. Next, a few people checked the entire building again, and the result was still the same. Captain, we did not find any traces of demons in the room where the first case appeared, and then expanded our search to the entire building, but still found nothing. Guo Kaitang reported. Upon hearing this news, Su Dahuang felt a slight headache because Fei Shi and Li Wenjie had not found anything so far. Is that so? This incident was not caused by demons, but rather a special infectious disease. But he always had a feeling that this incident was very likely related to the demon, but how did the demon commit the crime without leaving any trace? Wait, if the perpetrator is a human or even an evil wizard, then naturally there will be no traces of demons left. Perhaps we can investigate in this direction. Kaitang, go check the surveillance footage and see if anyone suspicious has appeared during this period. Understand. As the sky gradually darkened, Guo Kaitang, Xiao Ku, and Qin Xiaoqing, who had investigated the surveillance footage but still had nothing to gain, returned to the hospital and coincidentally met Fei Shi and Li Wenjie, who had also completed their search. How did you get there? Guo Kaitang asked. Li Wenjie shook his head and said, I haven't found any abnormalities, what about you? We're just like you. Guo Kaitang sighed. In the intensive care unit, the members of the city's demon hunting team remained silent as they watched the few people lying in their beds sleeping soundly. Damn it, can't you really see the ghost? Fei Shi cursed softly. Don't scare me. Upon hearing Fei Shi's scolding, Xiaoke couldn't help but shrink behind Guo Kaitang. It was obvious that a girl with a soft personality like her still had some taboos about ghosts. Patting Xiaoke's shoulder, Guo Kaitang gave Fei Shi a fierce glare. Ahem. Fei Shi awkwardly touched his head. At this moment, Su Dahuang's voice broke the strange atmosphere. This incident is too bizarre. Please continue to wait here. I will report the situation to my superiors and apply for the assistance of a spiritual mage. We can't really find anything, but spiritual mages can definitely find some clues from these sleeping people. I feel like this plot is written so poorly, I'm stupid. End of this chapter.